Friday. That's right. I'm actually happy. I didn't sleep well at all last night. I hate to sound like Victor here, but I'm tired. No, I really didn't sleep well at all last night. I woke up at 3:30 in the morning, and I was having one of those, anxiety panics, but I calmed myself down right away. I was like, no, I'm fine. I'm fine. I used the restroom, stayed up for a little bit longer, and then sure enough, you ever have one of those nights where it feels like you're not actually falling asleep, you're just laying there conscious with your eyes closed and the time just zooms past? You know how in a video game where you get the option to rest and you fast forward through a few hours? That's how it felt last night for me. My alarm went off at 7:20. I was like, I can sleep for 20 more. Fell back asleep, woke up again by my alarm, this time at 7:40. I'm supposed to be here at 8 o'clock. I'm like, well, time to rush and get ready, just shove a bunch of food in my lunch pail, and drive all the way to work. I got here pretty fast, actually. It's quite nice. Didn't show up too late this morning. If you want to get a hold of me, you can, over at 208-535-1015. What was I going to talk about? There is the grand return of the K-Bear 101 Secret Sound, powered by the Advocates Injury Attorneys, starting on Monday, 7:05. Tune in to the Victor Wilt Show. Listen for the hours that day we'll play the Secret Sound. The first one will be rather easy. I'll give you that right now. Hopefully the first person gets it. Excuse me. The first person gets that sound wins $101, and then pretty much we'll just make it harder from there. And it's going to be all month long that we'll be doing this K-Bear 101 Secret Sound, powered by the Advocates, hooking up listeners with cold, hard cash. That's right. Get money for concert tickets, get money for those horrible gas prices, get money for whatever you need it for. It's always great to gift people cash. That's right. What else was I going to mention here? I can mention it in the next break. I'll just do that. All right, it's Peach's Pit Party. I'll be back with some more random crap to talk about here in just a few on K-Bear 101. I found out what I was going to talk about. Yesterday, I decided, you know what? Tomorrow's payday, meaning today's payday. I might as well treat myself, go on Steam, and buy American Truck Simulator. So I did. Unfortunately, I don't have the steering wheel to make it even more fun. That's a whole lot of money in itself. The steering wheel with the pedals and all of that. I mean, you could go crazy with it and get the shifter as well. That, or you could just go become a trucker in real life. There's that too. But yeah, I bought the game. It's the base game. There's DLC to add Idaho to the mix as well. There's DLC to add other states too, which is awesome. I think it comes with California, Nevada, and Arizona. And it asks me, well, first of all, it gives me a whole bunch of pictures of random dudes to be like your avatar. So I chose the one bald guy with the beard that looked kind of like me, just fat and ugly. So I chose that guy. And then it's like, hey, where do you want to put your base of operations, your tiny little garage to start? I put it in Flagstaff, Arizona. Then I started doing these drives from Flagstaff to Phoenix, Flagstaff to Indio, California. Which obviously it's not like you sit there for 8-10 hours and you're actually driving the actual distance. No, they shorten it up big time for you. So you don't sit there like an actual trucker driving those distances. But it's also funny because there's hardly any traffic. People act like people. There's a few bad drivers that come across your path. Like one guy totally drove into my semi. And I couldn't believe that I was charged money. They took out money from my account because this guy who's driving a Ford F-150 just rammed into my truck. I'm hauling 35,000 pounds of frozen fruit. It's such a fun game. It's so funny how video games are the way that they are nowadays. Because back in the day, there was a whole bunch of video games for movies. And now there's everything simulator. Power wash simulator, lawn mowing simulator, there's farming simulator. I know a guy here in Idaho that actually works on a farm and then goes home and plays Farming Simulator. I just can't imagine doing that. It's like me doing Radio DJ Simulator, which, I mean, that does sound like a fun game, low-key. But anyway, this American Truck Simulator, my friend Eric was in the Discord call. I was streaming my game. He was watching me, and he was like the devil on my shoulder going, ram into that person, crash into them, see what happens. So I did, and it only cost me like $200 to just obliterate this Prius that was in front of me. And then so I found out the game had these auto saves, so I'd reloaded the last save, and I was just messing around after a certain amount of time, where I was just bored from driving endlessly, because you do have to follow the traffic laws. At one point, I got a ticket for speeding. I ran a red light, too. Yeah, I'm not the best truck driver, apparently. Trying to back it up into the depot. Oh, man, was that impossible. Shout out to all the real truckers out there, by the way. I wanted to say that, too, because playing American Trucking Simulator, I don't know how everyone does it. Anyway, here's Pierce the Veil, So Far, So Fake on K-Bear 101. Do I dare even talk about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? Do I? It's the last day to cast your vote. Tonight at 11:59 Eastern Time, that's when it gets cut off, and, well, that's it. I guess they'll decide who gets put into the... I don't know. I really don't know. It says here, with over 9 million votes cast, apparently people really do care about this type of thing. New Edition remains on top with just over 1 million of those votes. New Edition, who on earth is that? Should I look up some of their songs? Do I care that much? Not really. Second is Phil Collins, okay? It's New Edition, then Phil Collins. Pink is in third place. Luther Vandross, he's in fourth, and then Shakira is in fifth. Pink and Shakira, of course, should not be on there. What's funny is that they have INXS at number 6, Billy Idol's at 9, Iron Maiden is at 12, the Black Crowes at 14. Yeah, no, it makes total sense that Pink is one of the leaders for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but Iron Maiden is at number 12. You've got to be kidding me. Oasis 15, they're more rockin' than Pink, of course, and definitely Shakira as well. Wu-Tang Clan is ahead of Billy Idol at number 8, also Iron Maiden, of course. Mariah Carey also ahead of Iron Maiden. What's with all the disrespect to Iron Maiden? I guess I should go to rockhall.com and just keep on voting for Iron Maiden to give them the credit they deserve, even though I really don't think the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame matters whatsoever. You never really hear, oh, the Hall of Fame band, Iron Maiden, coming to this venue. No, it's just, hey, they're Iron Maiden, and they rule. It's Peach's Pit Party right here on K-Bear 101. The 4-person crew of Artemis 2 will not be going hungry as they're zipping around the moon this week. They're stocked with exactly 189 unique food and drink items, including 10 types of beverages, 5 different hot sauces, a dessert tray ranging from cobbler to chocolate cake. I would get extremely fat in space if I was a part of this crew. You're telling me that's just all sitting there? We're floating around bored? I'm one of those many people that when I'm bored, I decide to go for a snack, really. And so having that whole dessert tray out there up for grabs, every other astronaut on that ship is going to hate me because I'm just eating all the food. I'm that guy on the deserted island that just eats all the food. And they're like, well, great, now we got to go hunt for crabs and fish and cook them properly. All of that. I think they fixed the toilet problem on the ship, too. I was talking about that yesterday on the show. How there was toilet issues within the first few hours. Everything it's great just to have the toilet be the issue out of everything that could go possibly wrong with launching into space. That's utterly terrifying to me. Like I talked about before, I can't imagine wanting to be an astronaut as a kid, and then you have to learn all this math, and then you go into the very scary abyss that is space, the never-ending universes and galaxies and all of that. You don't know what's out there. So many things could go wrong. My middle school, McAuliffe Middle School, named after Krista McAuliffe, who died tragically in the Challenger explosion. You know, that's one of the worst things to happen when it comes to space travel, too. Man, that's terrifying. And just to think everybody was watching that. I'm so glad nothing like that happened with the Artemis 2 launch. We just watched them explode in space or whatever. We watched them explode in the sky. It all happens at once. All the news outlets were streaming it live as it was happening. I was watching it here in studio. So glad to see it's successful so far. All that different food. That'd be a breathtaking view, wouldn't it, to see the moon and the earth from that high up above? Man. Anyway. Let's play some Foos, your favorite toy, on Peach's Pit Party. It's K-Bear 101. March Madness is, well, nearly over. As we're just days away from crowning an NCAA basketball champion, the Final Four teams will play on Saturday, with the championship game tipping off on Monday. If you think that every year you watch the men's and women's Final Four, you're always seeing the logo for Connecticut, their Huskies, you're not wrong. Since 2008, one of the university's teams has each made a Final Four. 5 times during that run, it's been both men's and women's teams, which includes this year. The women have made it themselves 12 times, with the men's team by themselves in just 2023. What else is there going on? Let me scroll down here. Soccer fans headed to Gillette Stadium in Massachusetts for this summer's World Cup will face some sticker shock before they even get into the stadium. That's because the MBTA is planning to quadruple the price of a round-trip train ticket from Boston to Foxborough, jumping from the usual $20 rate for Patriots games to a staggering $75 per person. While host cities in Qatar and Germany provided free public transit for those ticket holders, Boston officials are defending the hike as a way to get some of the $35 million they had to spend to upgrade the station and manage an unprecedented volume of 20,000 riders per match. Gross. For the first time since 2016, Topps is the official trading card of the NFL and the NFL Players Association. In a massive multi-year deal, the iconic brand is making a splash in the world of football. The deal kicks off on April 15th with the launch of 2025 Topps Chrome Football Set, ending nearly a decade of fans having to look elsewhere for licensed NFL cards. That does it for your Shot Clock Sports Update right here on K-Bear 101. Beartooth in between on K-Bear 101. I mean, I could ask this for to Peach their own later today. The radio prep has been actually very helpful when it comes to questions for the segment. What's a show everyone hyped up that you just could not get into? Yellowstone, I see here on the list. I haven't even attempted to watch it. It doesn't really seem like my thing to watch a Western TV show. I'm sure Yellowstone fans are like, come on, Peaches, you need to get it. You need to watch it at least once just to see if you like it. I'll give it a try, but I just don't know what it's on, and I don't really have any. Actually, I don't have any streaming services that I pay for myself. I borrow my parents' Prime Video. I use my girlfriend's Netflix, and I think she just canceled hers because she's on this saving money trend. And plus, Netflix just hiked their prices even more, so why even pay for that? HBO Max, don't have. Disney Plus, I think my girlfriend has that too. Well, I'll find it, and I'll watch the first episode. If I like it, I'll continue to watch it. The Bear. Is that with the guy that looks like Gene Wilder, but younger? Jeremy Allen White is his name, I think. It's a cooking show, right? Kind of reminds me of Hell's Kitchen with Gordon Ramsay, but it's like a modern TV show. I'd watch that. Again, I just don't know what streaming service is on. The Witcher, I'm not into fantasy, don't care about it. Euphoria, not into romance or weird drama, really don't care for it. Peaky Blinders, I did try watching. And I really can't deal with the funny accents. I can't understand what they're saying. I have to have the subtitles on. And when it's such a slow burn, I was like, okay, if I'm tempted to pull out my phone for this entire episode, clearly I'm not into it. Now, Stranger Things. That was a fantastic show for the first, 3 seasons. I haven't watched the final season because, again, I don't have Netflix. Maybe I should, sign up a different email to get that free trial for a week and then just watch it in its entirety and then cancel right before it tries to charge me. Let's keep going down this list here. Why not? For what's a show everyone hyped up that you just could not get into. Riverdale. Don't care about it. The 100. I watched that. Actually, I watched the first 2 seasons. I do have a bad habit of watching things halfway through, a quarter of the way through, and then just stopping them. I did that for Breaking Bad. I watched a good portion of it. I was going to go to the very end, but then my friend Bobby at the time completely spoiled it for me and just ruined it. So I think that was the reason why I stopped watching it. Now, The Big Bang Theory is also on this list, and I can agree because that is one of the unfunniest shows of all time. Okay? I think The Big Bang Theory, Friends, and The Office are all incredibly unfunny to me. I can sit there and not laugh once. I don't know what it is about my sense of humor. I just don't find the stereotypical tongue-in-cheek jokes about relationships and dumb things like that are just not funny to me. Really, but my sense of humor is so messed up sometimes, I'm like, what am I even laughing at? I laughed at a picture of a fish that says, "Do you fart?" I'm laughing at it just thinking about it. Game of Thrones, also on this list, which really, I don't care about fantasy stuff. Breaking Bad, that is a great show. Seinfeld, it's a great show about nothing. Succession, haven't even heard of it before. And then Friends, I just talked about how unfunny it was. There we go. I talked about that whole thing. Now let's play some Living Dead Girl survival mode on K-Bear 101. I honestly forgot Easter was this Sunday, to be quite honest with you. I forgot until this morning when all of a sudden there was an email sent out by Star, who works down the hall. She decided to put exactly 22 eggs. She put that in the email she sent out, that the Easter Bunny, quote unquote, has hid 22 eggs around the premises. Good luck trying to find them. And so I saw that email and started to collect them. I had like 3 in my hand. And then, yeah, sure enough, Star, sees me with 3 and then gets upset and goes, "You're only supposed to get 1. Sorry. It's an Easter egg hunt, not an Easter egg, find one and settle with that. No. But on the inside were these cute little dragon figurines, and all the other people in the building were trading with theirs, trading each other different colors and stuff. I found the golden one, so that's sitting right there on the counter. I might just keep it here in the studio. It's a good decoration for the K-Bear studio. But yeah, Easter this Sunday. Back in the day, we used to have the Easter egg hunt at my parents' place. My sister would look for the split eggs. I would look for the solid eggs. I was quite spoiled. You ready for this one? There would be some eggs that wouldn't have candy in them, and there would be a little piece of paper with a number on it. And that number would get you a prize from the prize table, and there's been massive prizes in the past. I'm talking like the Easter Bunny spent a lot of money on Easter egg hunts that they shouldn't have. I'm quite thankful I got to experience that, because that was quite a lot of fun to shake the eggs and see if there was a paper on the inside. The more paper, the better, obviously, when you're a kid. But now as an adult, I'm like, man, the Easter Bunny really did spend a lot of money on, nonsense for Easter, when really they should have just saved it and spent it on themselves. I'll take the chocolate. I'm happy as a fat dude. I'll take the chocolate, the jelly beans. You can keep the peeps, though. A big problem in the modern world of gaming is that when you step away for like a brief second, maybe to use the restroom or to grab a bite of whatever food you have in front of you, it kicks you from the game for inactivity, right? It's quite annoying. Video games never used to be like that. I just saw McDonald's, out of all places, has launched a pro gamer menu that comes with a gadget designed to stop players going AFK mid-game. The device, called Archie, it looks like the McDonald's Arch, obviously. It clips between a controller's sticks to keep your character moving while you eat, but it's only available in Turkey. Why do they get the cool little thing? Huh? Why can't I have this? I mean, you could just, duct tape or use some scotch tape and tape the left stick down so your player's just constantly spinning. You could do that, all right? Okay, there's my solution. Here's Volbeat Demonic Depression. Speaking of Stairway to Heaven, I was reading this story here about Mount Everest, and for me, it's like trying to... anyone who's crazy enough to hike Mount Everest, that's nutty, man. It's really nutty to want to climb such a tall mountain. Is the view from up top even that spectacular to the point where it's almost worth your life to try to climb that mountain? I mean, it's brutal, right? How many people have died from trying to climb Mount Everest? Mount Everest total deaths. Let's look it up here. As of early 2026, over 340 people are known to have died on Mount Everest since records began in 1922, with nearly 200 bodies still remaining on the mountain, often in the death zone above 8,000 meters, while 2023 saw a record 18 deaths. Fatalities reduced significantly in 2025, showing that deaths fluctuate based on weather and crowding. Well, not only do you have to worry about potentially dying trying to climb this mountain, you could also potentially get scammed. Or let me see here. Is it actually the people getting scammed, or is it more so insurance companies getting scammed? There's a $20 million insurance scam where guides, helicopter companies, even hospitals were all in on it. These guides were allegedly making climbers sick on purpose, like putting stuff in their food to make it look like altitude sickness. Then what happens? Oh, emergency. We got to helicopter you off the mountain. Next thing you know, you're getting airlifted. You're sent to a hospital. and they're billing your insurance for thousands of dollars even if you didn't actually need it. And they were allegedly faking rescues, forging medical records, splitting the money between everyone involved. This went on for years and hit thousands of climbers. I mean, could you imagine your whole life spending tens of thousands to climb Everest? Because I'm sure it's an expensive trip. And your guide is basically like, yeah, let me poison this guy real quick so we can cash out, you know? Mount Everest, just not worth it at all right? You know, it's really sad. I was looking at this here article that says, hey, well, there's a breakdown. It's a new breakdown comparing the federal minimum wage to the cost of ground beef. And basically, over time, your ability to buy a burger with minimum wage has absolutely tanked. Like back in the day, you could work an hour and actually afford multiple pounds of ground beef. Now, you work an hour, and it's like, yeah, you can afford part of a burger, maybe. No cheese, definitely no bacon. Like, we've officially reached the point where flipping burgers pays less than buying the burgers you're flipping. That feels illegal, right? So yeah, if you've been wondering why everything feels expensive, it's because it is. Like, you're not working hard. I mean, you are working hard. It's just that things are outrageous. But here's the good news, though. We're literally giving you money. All right, we're giving away money to fight back against overpriced ground beef. Talking about the return of the K-Barrel 101 Secret Sound with the Advocates Injury Attorneys. We want you to guess the sound starting on Monday, and the first sound's going to be pretty easy. I can guarantee you that. And hopefully the first person who is our caller 20 when we play the sound at the specific time that Victor says at 7:05 that morning will win $101. That could afford you some ground beef, I feel like. So yeah, starting on Monday, 7:05. Tune in every weekday morning at 7:05 to find out when the sound will play that day. When you hear it, be caller 20 at 208-535-1015 and take your shot. If you nail it, jackpot's yours. You miss it, you win nothing. And like it, the pot starts at $101 and goes up $25 every wrong guess. So it just keeps getting juicier, unlike the ground beef you can't afford, okay? The K-Barrel 101 Secret Sound will return Monday. Once again, thanks to our friends at the Advocates Injury Attorneys. You know what I think is weird? I think it's weird when California gas stations think it's okay to be so proud that their prices have reached such an extreme amount. I feel like they're oddly proud of it. You know how I like to make fun of weather people for being happy that we're about to get like a whole bunch of snow, a whole bunch of rain, like they're overly excited about it. Like the first time since 1886, we've got 14 inches of snow in the month of January. I don't know, something like that, you know? I feel like every gas station in LA right now is like, sure, let's keep making our gas prices higher and higher and higher. And there's this one that I think Victor talked about this morning. This is all the way out in Big Sur. This is not even really close to LA. I mean, Big Sur is pretty far away. You know, gas prices, they're topping $6 a gallon in Los Angeles County, but drivers along the California Central Coast are paying more than that to fill up their tanks. Yeah, this one place, the owner of Gorda by the Sea. Does that mean just fat woman by the sea? Gorda by the Sea? I know Gordo is like the male version of that. Gorda by the Sea says the only reason his premium gas cost, I said gases? What the heck did I just say? Gas costs $9.99 is because he's limited by the number of digits on his pump. He's proud about that for some reason. And then he goes on to say, well, actually, the high prices are because we run the place on generators and we don't have enough power. We don't have power overall. We create our own power here. They probably could charge $20, and if you have to get gas, you have to get gas, said one of the drivers. Wow, okay, well, I don't know. It almost seems like D-bag of the day material, to be quite honest with you. Because it's like, well, don't have enough digits on the pump. Otherwise, they'd be charging you guys even more. I'm oddly proud of that for some reason. Let's move on from this. It's making me upset. Let's play some Bill Murray with A Day to Remember. Always Let You Down. Oh, yeah, speaking of letting me down, that story. It's K-Barrel 101. All right, this is by far one of the most ridiculous news stories that I have ever read. This warrant has been issued for the arrest of a woman after a stabbing inside a chicken coop. Officers were dispatched to a home along Big Sandy Road, West Virginia. That's the most country thing I've heard in a while. Big Sandy Road, West Virginia, that's right. In response to a disturbance, when authorities arrived at the scene, they spoke with the father and daughter who said that they were residing inside the chicken coop on the property. The daughter told deputies that she was asleep inside the coop when the suspect and another person attempted to break in. Deputies say the father told them he had been walking back to the coop when he heard someone say, "I'm going to kill you." Deputies say the daughter told them that this one woman allegedly threatened to kill her as she was entering the chicken coop. In response, the daughter allegedly pulled out a knife and stabbed the other woman. Both that other woman and the other suspect fled the scene before law enforcement arrived. This is the most West Virginia story I've ever seen. I'm looking at the mugshot here. Yeah, seems like a typical West Virginian. That is today's definitely ridiculous headline. That is today's What the Headline right here on K-Bear 101. Peaches Pit Party right here on K-Bear 101. I was listening to a radio show out of St. Louis earlier today. It's called The Rizzuto Show. It's on 105.7 The Point. And they started off the show by saying, hey, we're based out of St. Louis, so let's talk about how great St. Louis is, and that St. Louis, Missouri made Livability.com's list of the top 100 best cities in the United States. And I'm still scrolling down on this list. I'm not seeing it pop up here. Where is it at? Oh, you know what's funny? Nampa, Idaho is number 67 on this list. Billings, Montana is 76. Where's St. Louis? Is it 100? Oh my god, it's 92. And they were acting like it's, oh hey, we got listed, look how cool we are. They're number 92. Nampa ranked higher than them. You know what they ranked as number 1 as the best city? Is it, the best places to live in the United States? That's the full list. Huntsville, Alabama, where the median home value is $324,000. Their population's around 233,000. They got a live score of 873. I bet if I were to ask 100 people, hey, where do you think is the best place to live in the United States? I can guarantee you none of them are going to say Huntsville, Alabama. Carmel, Indiana at number 2. Sugar Land, Texas at 3. Naperville, Illinois at 4. And then rounding out the top 5, we got Plano, Texas. 2 Texas cities made the top 5. Sugar Land and Plano. I have not visited any of those cities, but I can guarantee you, Huntsville, Alabama doesn't sound appealing whatsoever to me, or I think a lot of people either. As a matter of fact, earlier today, I was trying to see if any other Idaho cities made the list. Only Nampa. Nampa was number 67. Again, 67. That made the list. And earlier today, we were talking about this thread. I believe it was on the Noon Hour of Madness and Mayhem, where there was a thread yesterday like, hey, what's the best part about living in Idaho Falls? Well, today, the same lady asked, well, what is your least favorite thing about Idaho Falls? And a lot of people are saying the same old stuff, like the transplants coming here. You know, they're hooked onto that. The wind is a great one. Lack of entertainment, definitely one. The ignorance from Mandy, another great answer, actually. But, yeah, if you want to join this Facebook group, it's called What in the Idaho Falls Was That? Idaho Falls, Pocatello, Rexburg, this area is not all that bad. I would say it's definitely better than Nampa. It deserves its spot on the list. I haven't been to Huntsville, Alabama. Watch me talk so much trash about Huntsville, Alabama on this break, and then I go visit, and it actually is like the best place on earth. I doubt it, though. I doubt it, but it could happen. I would rank any one of the East Idaho cities higher than Huntsville, Alabama. I don't know, something about the South. Like, I always read about how Mississippi has the worst drivers, the worst crime, everything. Alabama's right there with it, so there's all of that. They have a good college, though, good football team. Anyway, here's Bad Omens, Dying to Love on K-Bear 101. All right, I'm about to wrap up the show here. I wanted to talk about this because this is downright hilarious. You know, you wouldn't see this type of thing in most bigger cities, and I appreciate Idaho for what it has. Don't get me wrong. It just makes me laugh that this made the news. You know, there was an article a few years back that I talked about how there was a brand new sidewalk opening up in this very small town. Well, now, coming soon, Island Park's first traffic light. Yeah, I'm not kidding. You can take a look at the article at eastidahonews.com. A town stretching more than 30 miles along US 20 and boasting the longest main street in America is about to get its first ever traffic light. Bravo to them. According to the ITD, the Idaho Transportation Department, their spokesperson, Island Park's first traffic signal will be installed this spring at the intersection of Highway 20 and Yale-Kilgore Road in the Elk Creek area. Concrete work and other preparations were completed last fall, paving the way for installation once materials arrive. The signal is expected to be operational by summer. Are they going to have some massive ribbon-cutting ceremony for this? Are they going to bring out some local celebrity to cut the ribbon? Coming soon, Island Park's first signal, first traffic light. Congratulations, I guess. Thanks for listening to Peach's Pit Party, the podcast. If you enjoyed the show, please share, subscribe, and rate the podcast. Peach's Pit Party is hosted by me, Peaches, a.k.a. Brendan Peach, and is a production of Riverbend Media Group. For more information or to contact the show, visit riverbendmediagroup.com. Until next time, Peach out.